Hello. I hope this is working. We never know until we're live with these things. I think we're good. Right. I still need to clean up my kitchen, so bear with while I do that. I am just never fully ready with these things. I swear I should just set the time later, but then I just start even later. So bear with me. Just give the premises to tidy up before I turn things on because we are really so bad. So remove stuff. You need to put away stuff when they dry and just be on top of these things. But no, I'll do it right before I really need it to be done. These guys away. Oh my god, making it as democratic as humanly possible. Right. All the clean stuff put away. We just love things into the sink. Things later. As always, delaying my problems is my forte. Inevitably, I'm going to need some of the things in here, so I'm just going to start the stream with it. As per. Right. Okay, we have some semblance of order. Right. Okay, let me turn the camera on. We are. Okay. I think we're up. Hello. Welcome. I am never on time with these things, and nor am I ever ready for these things. So I am going to do the dishes because I haven't yet to do them. Because that's just who I am. So spend 10 or so minutes with me while I clean up my washing from lunch. I did a whole cook for lunch. Usually I always do like a freezer meal from another day for lunch, but today no. I ended up having a freezer meal from another day because I didn't end up cooking the food ready in time, but I did a whole cook today. So give me a moment. Let me just scoot the camera up so you see my face. Voila. Right. Spend 10 minutes with me while I sort my shit out. We are going to do a beef bourguignon today. Lovely idea from Phoenix. It's just Phoenix. So yeah, I do have all my stuff ready. I just need to. Well, I don't have my stuff ready. Clearly, I decided I could have spent any 10 minutes this afternoon cleaning up my kitchen, but I decided to spend this 10 minutes cleaning it up. So watch me pay for my own mistakes and have to do this now. You can join me for the ride. So, it will be fun. I'm going as quick as I can, I promise. I don't know why I do this to myself all the time. It's so much easier doing the dishes immediately after you've, used them because crusty food, etc. But no, I shall. I miss my dishwasher. I think that's what it is. I think I'm just too accustomed to having a dishwasher, so I'm just like, no, I'll just do it later. But then later just haunts you. So thankfully, I wasn't too over the top with the amount of dishes used, despite basically having cooked 2 meals. Quickly get through that. Today's really just going to be a lot of chopping and peeling, to be fair. So just let it hang out in a braise. Almost there. Thank you for bearing with me. World's quickest little dishwash sesh. Good thing no one's here yet because that would be embarrassing. Right. Huge contained water. Honestly, somebody needs to invent a color that's easier to wash. Like, what do you mean? You can get stuck in the mesh. Right. Okay. We are back in business. Okay. We are here. Sports water. And did I just spill that over the edge? Little rinse down. Okay. We are ready. We are ready. Right. Okay. We have reached step one. Is have a clean kitchen to start cooking in. Okay. Right. We can begin. Just dry off our surfaces. Cool. Right, we are doing beef bourguignon, and we need beef. Ta-da! And we have mushroom. Actually, I'm going to do 2 types of mushroom because I have half a thingy of mushroom from another time. Carrots. Move this down again. And my random thing of random half of a shimeji mushroom situation. Use the fridge for a second while I sort myself out. Right, we have is that look, normal size carrots? No, mega size carrots here. How much carrot do I want? 400 grams of beef. Maybe 2, maybe 3. They're quite small. It's gonna be carroty. Nice sweetness. And then instead of wine, we are going to use our wine braised liquid from the other day that we made the beef tendons in, because that's going to be lovely and gelatinous and flavorful and all that jazz. We will definitely require onion. Ooh, buzzing me. Got 1 onion. Yeah, it's a big onion. Then that's it, really. I think that's all we need. Yeah. So let's just start prepping these. I feel like the mushrooms are meant to go in after, so I shall cook them late later / late after. The recipe I was just looking at suggested you cook the beef first with the carrots and the onion. Oh my god. And then cook the mushrooms separately and add them at the end. So I'm gonna try that. I've usually just kind of chucked the mushroom in with everything together. So would be interesting to see what difference that makes. We need garlic. Cannot go without giant garlic. Be there. And I need to defrost wine cubes. So we're gonna do probably 2 cubes of wine, and then I don't think I even need 2 cubes of wine. There's not that much liquid. Maybe I'll do 1 cube at a time and see how it goes. Maybe I'll do 1 cube of 1 cup of that. It's bulging. And then the rest in beef stock, depending on how much it ends up being. Do I even have regular beef stock? I might not. I may have to be a bit creative and use a different stock cube. I have chicken bouillon. That will have to do. Last packet. How much water do you do? You're gonna tell me? What is your ratioing? TBD. Daily? And what else? What else? Then we have stock cubes, but it's not really the right kind because these are beef, Vietnamese stock cubes, so they're going to taste like hella Vietnamese if I put those in. But also not a bad shout. It could be good. It could be the. Maybe I should really finish that consomme bouillon situation because that's been hanging out for a bit long. Okay, we're just doing a little clear out as we always do. And we have a little bit of tomato puree in as well. Yeah, that'll do. We are literally clearing out our fridge, which is good. That's what beef bourguignon kind of is. Okay, so we can scoot you this way. You're also finished. So you can go over here. Okay. I feel like 2 carrots may be too much, especially with this amount of onion. We'll see. We'll see how we're looking. Let another dry down. Cool. Right. We'll just weigh up how much onion and carrots and stuff we have, and we'll go from there. This is our very, very slowly. I should probably pop that in the microwave so it actually does something. So we've got our carrots first. And so you've got about 400 grams of beef. You want to do like half and half, like 200 carrot, maybe like 200 onion. So we'll see how much our carrot weighs. I should have gone for the bigger one. Probably would have been bang on. That will do. We'll pop this carrot back. It's only 150 of carrot, but I don't want it too carroty. That carrot can be used for another thing. I'm going to scoop my bin here so I can not end up with carrot peel on the floor because that is inevitably what's going to happen if I try and go whoop. Right. And then we have onion. Oh, I think I've done the thing where I can actually peel this in one piece. Sometimes the onions just give me such a hard time on the peel. Nope, don't you dare. One peel, come on, you can do it. Not quite. It's okay, 2 peels I forgive. And you have to like spend like ages being like, nice, good peel. It's gonna be a good day. Perfect. 200 gram of onion. And then we'll do a whisk amount of mushrooms after. So we're gonna go in with a fairly randomly sized carrot configuration, like so. And again, side. You're a bit big. And then we have not too fine of a dice on the onion because that's all gonna disintegrate anyway. So I'm gonna go like yay much. The onion. Hi, Chachi. Welcome to the channel. My name's Natchan. I cook. Welcome. We're making a beef bourguignon today, which is a beef red wine stew situation. Hope you've had a lovely day. And yeah, hang out while I cook some beef. I've just finished cutting onions and carrots, and I'm going to start cooking off the beef. I'm in Japan, yes. As you can see, here you go, a little Japanese meat. Japanese supermarket. This is, what was this? Beef thigh steaks. So that will be very delicious for our beef braise. I've spoken English all my life. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've always been to an English school, so let's see if we can tell all the countries I've done my education in. See if you can guess. There's two English countries that I've lived in, and that can be your challenge to try to figure out which two of those countries. I was born in Vietnam. My parents moved to Vietnam before I was born, so I'm half Vietnamese, half Japanese. And I went to a international school in Vietnam, and then I went to high school somewhere else, and I went to university somewhere else. So guess where I went to high school and university? And that's where my very mixed up English accent comes from. This is a beefy, winey braised liquid from last week's cook. I froze this in cubes, so I'm just gonna whack this in the microwave to defrost. Not US, no, that is not one of the countries. Yeah, two different places, not the US. I mean, you can disregard the entire continent. Think the other way. Think the other two continents. Where else could I possibly have gone? I'm just going to heat up my pan. Well, actually, before I do that, I need to cut the beef up. I need to cut this. I don't know why I'm using tongs. I'm literally about to touch it. Just going to have a little meat tower. I love Japanese packaging. Look at this. Like, why? For absolutely no reason. There's a little bit of, fake plastic lettuce. New Zealand, yes, that is where I went to high school. And there's not very many other English-speaking countries left after that. What am I in here for? I am in here for some leftover oil that I had. Do I not have that anymore? Have I used it? Maybe I have. Oh no. Oh no, it's definitely still in the fridge. Bear with. I'm just suffering from my own. Oh, there it is. I had a little bit of like olive oil, scallion oil left from. You were born in India and live in Finland. Wow, fun times. The other place I was in, I went to university in the UK. So that's where I was living until April last year. And my husband, who is British, currently works in Japan. So he got a job here for 2 years. And so I was like, cool, I'll come with you. Get to see my family and stuff. So I was like, yeah, why not? It's funny because I've never actually lived in Japan. I've only come here on holiday to like meet my grandparents and have holidays. So this is actually the first time I'm actually living here in Japan. I'm just going to give my hands a rinse. Give the beef a little chop up. So I've cut the carrots to about this size. I want the beef to be a little bit bigger than that because the beef is going to shrink and we don't want it to become too small. So I'm going to go maybe 4s on this bit and then 3 on this side. Maybe that's kind of basically the same size as the carrot. Maybe I'll go a bit bigger. We want it to be nice and chunky. You speak Japanese? I do. My family at home, even when we were living in Vietnam, we were brought up Japanese. So at home, we had to speak Japanese. And so outside, we would speak Vietnamese. And then at school, we spoke English. So my Vietnamese is much weaker now than when I was younger. I'm trying my best to keep it alive. Whereas my Japanese is very, very much fluent. I'm not very good at writing Japanese though, because I never really wrote Japanese. I only ever like typed it or like used my computer or laptop or things like that. So we're just going in with some garlic salt over our beef, just for some extra flavor. This is my New Zealand garlic salt that my best friend gets for me all the time. And I'm almost running out, so I need to get some more. I don't know why I cook with a ponytail. I always get the same problem where it like falls over my shoulder and then it tries to dive into my food. Right. Oil is heated up. Move some stuff off here because I feel like it's a bad idea having stuff on the hob. So move that there. We don't need you. Right, sizzle time. Not sizzle time. That was a weak sizzle. Just get that come up to temperature a little bit hotter. Try again. Take 2. There we go. In we go. And I'll let that hang out in there for a second. Give that a solid few, maybe minutes to get to know each other. Let's go. The Finnish food is not that level of Indian food. I focus on Indian cuisine. That's Indian. Nah. See, like Indian food is something I love. I love eating Indian food, but I've never like tried myself. I think I'm always ow. Calm down. Like absolute chaos in here. Let me just split my beef in pieces. My goodness. All right. Oh, right. That's done. Let me just Give that another minute, and then we're going to pull it all out, and then we can put our vegetables in to have a little. And the guy who corrected on Indian food I've tried is North Indian food. South Indian food is the best Indian food. I will uncorrect you because the guy, I lie. There is Indian food that is the generic Indian food, which is probably North Indian. But the restaurant that I go to, the guy is South Indian. So I love their food as well, both equally. But I completely get you. In the UK, all Indian food is like North Indian, I would say. In Japan, there's a bit more of a mix actually, because there's a lot of different. There's a lot of Indian immigrants, especially where we are. So it's cool to experience all the different types of Indian food. I think everybody always has the same image. Right, I'm just going to let that simmer down for a second. Just need to pull up the recipe because yeah. Let's calm down. What I do want to know is like the difference. Is it? I mean, again, I've not been to India, so like the amount of South Indian food I've had is very limited to this one guy's place. But like, is it? Because I've been to a Sri Lankan restaurant, and I think like stuff like dosa, is that like quite similar, or is it just looks the same but actually completely different? I'd love to know if there is actually a difference in, well, they are similar foods. Because I love dosas. They're like, mwah, like coconut. I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like coconut savory pancake is like the best like words I can use. But like, I love the crispy and the like slightly like soft inside. Yes, of course, yeah. I would say that's definitely one of my favorite items. Just gonna do a little quick onion in there. Yes, coconut chutney. Oh my god, that stuff is like addictive. Gonna have a quick. Oh, I forgot the garlic. Stop the cook. I forgot garlic. How could I? Can we just have a moment for how big the garlic today is? Like, that is one clove. Can you see that? This is like ridiculous. Like, I don't even know what they're feeding the garlic. That's one clove. Maybe it's like one of those like twins garlic, where it's like maybe it is a twin garlic. Like, but look at that. That is like the size of my hand. Let's peel it and see. Like opening a labubu. It's like, oh, what am I gonna get today? Is it gonna be? Yeah, look, it's a twin. It's like two garlic cloves in the same shell. But even then, that is a fat boy. Look at that. Okay, let me just quickly cut. I know I did just cut the beef. Chaos. It's one thing in Japan and the tiny kitchens. I know I just cut the beef on the board, but this garlic is going to be very, very cooked. It will be fine. Just gonna have a quick slice of the garlic. mince it. Give it a little mince. I have stopped the onion cooking, so I can just quickly cut this and add it to the pot. How could I possibly forget? You have a saying, if you eat a twin vegetable, you have twins. Oh my goodness. I did not know that. In Japan, you can buy eggs like as a packet of like, they're like all double yolk eggs. They're much more expensive than normal eggs, but you can buy like already, like, I don't know how they know. Maybe it's like a weight, they weigh it, or whether they like, I don't know, put some lights up against it so they can like see. But you can buy specifically double yolked eggs all in a packet. Well then, I shall update you in maybe like 5 years if it's real. My husband has always said, even like before we were married, like when we were dating, he's always been like, I want identical triplets. And I'm like, what are you on? Are you smoking? He's like, I want identical triplets because then at parties, I can put them underneath giant cups and switch them around, and they're all going to be the same. And I was like, that's the most ridiculous joke. And he's like, you want identical triplets just so you can do that as a party trick? And he's like, yes. I was like, wow, you're going to be a great father. So who knows? Who knows? We shall see. Right. Gone a rough chop on the garlic. Very last minute. Just put that over there. Scoop that in to our pot. Right. A little late to the party, but that's okay. It happens. Hi, Loki. Welcome. Dinner was amazing. Actually, I need to post, put a picture on my story because the chef, we didn't know this. He's an incredible artist, and he like drew on the dessert plate like happy birthday. Usually, people, write on the dessert plate happy birthday, whatever. He drew an entire Sonic and Kirby. I told him, he asked me what my husband liked. So I was like, oh, he's currently into like Sonic and Kirby. And he drew Sonic and like 4 Kirby's on the plate. Okay, I need to pull up the picture because it's too good to not share. Wait, my phone's on the wall. I can't. But I will put it on my stories after. Going in with our carrots. We are currently doing beef bourguignon. We have cooked the beef. The quality is jank. Sorry, my camera is not playing very nicely today. But we've got beef. We've got onions and carrots. Just getting to know each other. And then... No problem. I was just explaining what we've got in here. We've got onions and carrots in there with garlic. You missed the most massive garlic. You need to like scrub back a little bit because like 2 cloves of garlic, literally the size of my like fingers. Huge. Just gonna give that a little toss. This is my little beef and wine situation from last week. So yeah, we did a red wine beef tendon braise last week, and so this is just a braising liquid that was left over. I've got a couple more cubes, but I'm going to use this instead of wine because I forgot to buy wine, and you know what? It's already good, flavorful wine and beef juices. Can't go wrong. Right, in with our beef. Let's reincorporate everyone back in. And then we want to go in with our, so this is about 250 mils. So that's pretty good. And I'll probably want to do maybe double in beef stock. How much was that? Yeah. I've just got a lot of different, where's my stock one? Just got a lot of different like consommes and bouillons to use up. So I'm just gonna just shove a bit of everything in really. Oh, tomato paste. Let's put that in as well. So I'm just gonna throw in Japanese tomato paste comes in a little tube and it's the most adorable thing. I'm like, I want my massive tube of tomato paste. I don't want like tiny individual packets of tomato paste. But hey ho, this is what we have. I mean, people don't clearly cook with tomato paste enough because like I'm used to having like the massive squeeze tubes of tomato paste. So that will do. And then let's give you all a mix together. And then we are going in with a bit of, what are you, chicken bouillon. I'm just kind of cleaning out my pantry because I've got all these things with like one packet left. I'm just like, I'm just gonna shove it all in and hope for the best. That is how I cook around here. And then, oh, you're very not powdery. Maybe like a spoonful of you in there. Mixy. We'll do, shove you in there. Nice. I never know what bay leaves do, but chuck the bay leaf in as well. Literally, there's like infinite bay leaf in here. I swear, this packet has been full for the last like year and a half. Like we keep using it. At least like, I definitely use at least like a handful a month. But I swear, it's still in here. So, bay leaf is in. And we just, oh, actually, I should probably taste this a little bit because I've not put really any salt in yet. Oh, and my secret ingredient I need to put in. Put a bit of Marmite, my homeland. Well, has become my homeland. Little Marmite for the stew. Honestly, like a spoonful of this in like anything really just gives it a great umami and saltiness. Doing that. Yep. Of the British kind, unfortunately, not the Kiwi kind, but iconic nonetheless. Would highly recommend if you've never tried it before. Chuck a bit of Marmite in like a curry, a stew. Obviously, reduce the salt accordingly. And it does wonders. You don't know really what it does, but it definitely does something. So Let me give that a quick taste. I mean, obviously at the moment it's just liquidy broth, but it's got a taste, somewhat there at this point. And obviously it's going to reduce down and it's going to get thicker and saltier. But, it's got to have whispers of it already tasting good. Yeah, Marmite's great because I don't know if you know what it is, but it's a yeast extract. So it's basically leftover brewer's yeast from beer making. And basically it's just that and salt and vegetable concentrate. So it's just really, obviously, people have this on like toast and butter, and it's just got that really like deep kind of salty caramelized kind of tastes like my ad reaction basically. So a little bit of that gives it a good body. My husband puts too much of this on his bread. I'm just like, like a gentle scraping. He's just like lathers it on like it's jam. And I'm like, no, please. For your health, please stop. Because obviously it's very salty. But cannot get between a man and his Marmite. Right. I've tasted that already. I don't want to taste it again. I'm going to make a little paper lid for my stew. I actually don't know the English name for this. In Japanese, it's called a drop lid, where you like put a piece of paper into your broth. So, it like keeps evaporating, but it keeps the heat in. I don't actually know what the English word for it is. If anybody could enlighten me, that'd be great. I feel like it's got like a French name. I feel like it's something the French would do. Yeah. So we just fold a little bit of origami until it's about the right size. Yeah, paper cover will do it. I'll take that. Paper cover. This little hole in the middle. Voila. And then we just drop them down. Oh, look at that. Perfect. First time. Usually have to cut it a few times to make it the right size, but it's pretty good. I'm just gonna bring it to a simmer because you're currently sounding very quiet. And then, sorry, I just touched the mic. We're gonna let that go for probably like an hour. What's the time now? Just before 5. Oh, it's not 7 minutes. Cool. Go for 1 hour. And then, you've never seen this before. Yeah. In Japanese, it's called otoshibuta. So in Japan, they have a wooden, like an actual like tool for this, where it's like a wooden plate, round plate, basically, with a little handle. You can just rest it on top of your food. But yeah, I think in French cooking, they use paper. And basically what it does is that, especially if you like simmering foods or braising foods for a long period of time, you allow the liquid to keep evaporating. Because if you have a lid, like a full-on lid on, that will like the water keeps dropping back in. But so in this case, you want the liquid to like thicken. So you want the evaporation to like leave, but you still want to form a convection current in the food. So the heat actually like goes back in down and like stays the same temperature, if that makes sense. We're simmering, so we're going to turn that down. And it just cooks the food more evenly. Whereas if you had no lid, the heat just keeps escaping up. So the temperature of your food will just basically not stay the same. It's going to be hot at the bottom and just cooler on the top. Whereas this allows the temperature of the food to stay consistent, but it allows the water to evaporate. Like if you had a lid, the water would kind of fall back into the food, which you don't necessarily want. And this just means that the food just cooks a lot more even temperature because the heat just kind of circulates among itself. Pull that move if you get on MasterChef. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if Miles is online, but I have a dear friend, if you'll allow me to call him a friend, that is or was a MasterChef contestant. I don't know if he's awake today, but no, man has been a great help with my cooking as well. Yeah. Let's see if he might show up. Yeah, he's probably asleep at this point because he's from the US. So, but sometimes he pops in, so we can see. Maybe if we talk about him enough, he'll be like, "You're talking about me." So yeah, that's just basically gonna hang out for ages. I'm just gonna maybe do a little bit of washing up so I can clean my kitchen down. Oh, let me just separate my, I'll pull this back out again. Let's separate some mushrooms out for later. Usually I would just put the mushrooms straight in, but I saw a recipe where they added the mushrooms right at the end. You cook it separately and add it right at the end. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna try that. See if it's any good or like makes any difference. Because usually I would just chuck it in there, but got some shimeji mushrooms that was left over from a different recipe. So I'm just gonna chop the bottoms off and use that and some button mushroom, chestnut mushroom as well. So we've got, you're getting vigorous. I don't want vigorous. I just want gentle, please. Mm-hmm. 200 grams of mushroom as well. Another one for good luck. Perfect. Just gonna pop this back in the fridge. And then let us. Hi, Wizzle. Welcome. Look at me go. I've actually started on time and we're actually cooking dinner with some semblance of sanity. We've got our little beef bourguignon hanging out in there. We've got a little lid on. Just measured out some mushrooms for after. I'm just going to do a little clear down wash up now. We were just saying, because Loki was just saying how these are some MasterChef moves, and I was like, well, if you want a MasterChef, we have a MasterChef somewhere. If we talk about him enough, he might appear. We're gonna have like sneezing away. Does people say that? Is it just a Japanese thing where you say like if someone's like talking behind your back, you sneeze, or is that a Japanese thing? How could you, Wizzle? You're fine. Is it a Japanese thing or such an Asian thing where they say you sneeze if you're sneezing but you don't have a cold, someone's talking behind your back, and they say if you sneeze once, it's something bad. If you sneeze twice, it's something good. If you sneeze 3 times, you've got a cold. I feel like that's how the saying goes. This is Miles sneezing away. But yeah, let me just do a little bit of washing up because then I will do my future self a favor by not having to do Also, husband was telling me that somebody might come visit later, so I should probably like clean. Um, what's in the pot so far? So we started off by searing off some beef chunks, and then we pulled out the beef, and then we went and put in onions and carrots and garlic. You missed giant garlic. It was even bigger than usual. If you scrub back like 10, 15 minutes, see, go check out the massive garlic. It was a massive twin garlic. So yeah, put the garlic in, and then if you remember last week, I did the wine and beef tendon braise. So the wine liquid from that and some extra stock, and some tomato paste, and a spoonful of Marmite is currently in the pot. And birthday dinner was amazing. I was just saying earlier, we had the most, the meal was incredible, but like what kind of overshadowed the entire thing was um, um, the chef drew a dessert plate for husband, and he had asked me what like characters and stuff he liked. So I was like, oh, like he's currently into Sonic and Kirby, and he's like, okay, cool. And I was like, I didn't really think much of it. Maybe he'd like, I don't know, draw a little thing in the corner. But man, like drew like an entire plate. Like, you know, there's like a massive like dinner plate, and the entire thing was like a full like landscape of like Kirby and Sonic. And he like drew with like chocolate like sauce or something. I will definitely post a picture on my story later so everyone can see. But it was incredible. It was like a sparkler and everything, and it was so good. So it was a very, very good dinner. Is the end of my hair green? Yes, I have got all sorts of colors in my hair at the moment. It was green. It was green as of like September. It was green and pink as of September, but it's currently now in the stages where it's like losing its color. So I've got all sorts of colors in my hair. I don't know if you can see. So the top bit, the outside bit, was dyed green, and then the inside bit was dyed pink, like bright fuchsia pink. So the green bit is now currently kind of going blue at the top of my head, but the tips are still a bit green. And then the inside bit, the pink is kind of going. It's more just a brownie color. So we are enjoying the transition. I'm clearly changing like the trees around us. I'm doing my autumnal colors. I will try and do a better close up once I've finished washing up and degloved my pink. Wizzle, I'm so sorry the gloves are now pink. I know the green was matching with the jumper, but I got a different size. So we're now pink. Gotta wear gloves because my hands get ruined so quickly. I do washing up. Well, I say my hands, my nails get ruined because I don't have acrylics or anything. So it's just me and my own nails, and they crack if I do too much washing up with no gloves. Right. All done. Right. Let me see if I can get a better view. It'll be easier if I let down my hair. Not currently cooking, so I can take my hair down. I don't think I can even see it, to be fair. Yeah, the outside bit is green. Don't know if you can see the inside. The inside, I think it's showing up brown, but it was pink once upon a time. And the outside is green. Yeah. So yeah, it's got this really lovely, like, it was just one color. It was just like plain green. But because of the way, I don't know, it's washing out, it's got like a blue, it got bluey bits and it got more tealy bits, which is lovely. I'm enjoying. Done any more to the artwork? I have not since I've started a new thing where I've just been enjoying a bit of like tracing actually. Because I was telling you about the mahjong game that I want to get back into, and my character in that game is very pretty. So I've been doing a little bit of Tracy art because sometimes Tracy art is what the soul needs. Just gonna turn the heat back up because we've quietened down again. Um, but yeah, that's the plan at the moment. Put my hair back up. I'm actually gonna put it in a bun this time because every time I cook with a ponytail, it's like cute, but also like it falls down the side and like dips itself, like dives itself into the food. And we don't need that. So into a bun we go. Are you gonna stay? That was a really like flimsy elastic. That's not gonna stay. Let me grab. Where are all my hair ties gone? Just everything is hiding from me. Just re-tie that back up. Right, added flavor. I don't think husband's gonna appreciate, hair. Though, if you're gonna have anybody's hair in your food, your wife's hair is like the most acceptable hair in your food. But even then, that's pretty. If yeah, rather not, if you could help it, kind of a situation. Let me just quickly text husband because I have a feeling he's saying he was inviting someone home for chats, but I want to make sure if that's actually happening, I need to clean, tidy better. Nice. Okay. What shall we do? I've got so much time while I wait. I'm just gonna quickly steal the charger off here. Sorry for the close up. My tablet's dying. I have my tablet hanging out over here. And need to charge. Please hang on. Stay. Right. The French guy from yesterday, different guy. This guy is actually Michael's personal trainer. But they've been meeting every week. Obviously aside from gym, to do a bit of language exchange, which I find very cute. So he's teaching. They're just basically talking and taking turns talking in each other's languages. So Japanese and English, talking to each other and attempting to, just learn more about conversing, I suppose. Yeah. I tried to do that with husband, with the Japanese, but it's one of those things, it gets frustrating when it's your significant other trying to be like, no, I told you this yesterday. How do you not remember how to say egg? So sometimes you need to not do these things with your significant other, because sometimes that's the healthy way. Oh, actually, I can show you guys the result of yesterday's lolly cake, because I actually have a cross section. We only had one one slice out of it so far because we've only had lunch since then. But here's a little cross section of lolly cake, lolly muffin in this case. I'm gonna show. Yeah, they got little, basically cookie dough with lollies on the inside. It's a great angle. But yeah, the coconut on top. Yeah, I had to like fully like excavate this. I had so much confidence in the fact that this muffin tin was going to release um I just had it in my mind that they were just going to like flip it over and it would all just fall out, but no, they were completely stuck. So I had to like fully like excavate it out of there. So what I should have done was use a silicone mold so I could have pushed it out because I have silicone molds. But no, I had to insist and use. I wish you guys could have a bite. It tastes so good. It tastes so bad for you. But honestly, the things that taste the worst are the worst, are the best things. Um, yeah, I know, Wizzle, and I should have known better. But at that point, I needed to get the value out of me buying that muffin tin because I didn't end up using it for the other things. So I was like, I need to use the muffin tin for any reason whatsoever. So that's on me. I will just have to like excavate it every time. I think once it's like out for a bit, like when it's like really cold, it's like super stuck. But when it's like out for like 10 minutes, it like comes out a bit better. So it's part of the fun. You gotta play dinosaur with your food. You know? We all had those little like excavation toys or like begged our parents for those toys from like museums where they had to like, you know, crack a dinosaur skeleton out of like a block of sand. It's basically one of those, but you just have to excavate your own food. So I am faffing. I've got 42 minutes left on my braise, so I'm probably gonna do something else. I'm just trying to figure out what. Ooh, do I do some like roast potatoes? Am I gonna treat husbando to another one of his favorite foods, which he never gets to eat usually because I don't like potatoes? Find the marshmallow exactly. You have to like dig it out. You like which one was it that only had the white one? There's only one white fruit puff in there, so it's like you gotta excavate for the white one. If you find the white one, you win. Bragging rights. I'm just trying to think what I want to do because I've got. Maybe I could bake. Ooh, to be fair, I've got these like tiny tarts left from the party. So maybe I'll do a little. Maybe I'll do a little tiny tart situation. Except I don't want to particularly do any baking. So I've actually just thought of something fun. So my mum got me this really like fancy hot chocolate thing. And basically it's got like different ratios for hot chocolate. And one of the bottoms says creme de chocolat, which I think is like basically chocolate mousse. Yeah, because mixed ingredients, stir with a spoon, steam, simmer or microwave for 40 seconds. Place in ramekins, chill for 2 hours. So I think it makes a little like ganache type. Like it thickens if you cool it. So I think if I make this like chocolate pudding situation and put it in this, that would be quite good, no? I think it would be quite good. So maybe we'll do that. So if we just do How many? Ooh, cheesecake. Yeah. That would be fun. Right. How much is messaging me? Don't message me loads in a row. Fabulous. No guests today, so I can not tidy. Okay, let's give that a go. Let's rinse that out just in case there was any beefiness left in there. Just gonna boil the kettle. Got when I went to the supermarket. No, that's fine. I need a cup, so we'll do. Kettles in Japan take so much longer than kettles in the UK because the voltage is lower. You only get 100 volts in Japan. So everything just takes so much longer to heat. That's why I think not a lot of Japanese places have kettles because it's honestly quicker to boil water on a stovetop than to what is a third cup? I suppose I just go by this. A third cup would be like down here. Let's go. Very, very impromptu chocolate something making. So fancy. Is that chicken kettle? Of course it's the chicken kettle. I only have one kettle. I don't have separate kettles for my chicken and other things. So, one. I don't actually know how much I will need out of this, nor do I know if it's actually enough. Kettle's seen a lot of things, Wizzle. Kettle has seen chicken. It has seen egg. It has seen... What else have I put in there? You thought there was a second one. Do you think money grows on trees, Wizzle? Let's keep going. This is a very chocolatey situation. That's about a quarter cup. I want a third cup, so maybe like 2 more spoonfuls. It's a very generous chocolatey situation. That looks about right. Much chocolate going in. They make it out of something. Ooh, and I could do a little bit of this chili mango on top. Yeah. I actually love this. I've been really enjoying it. It's dried mangoes, but it's got chili on it. So it's this like sweet, spicy situation. Yum. So good. Maybe like a few like slivers of that on top of the tarts would be quite cute as well. Yum. Have we boiled yet? Almost. What are we doing over here? Hanging out. And we want to do a cup of water, which is 200 mils. Yeah, I think most of the countries I've been to have plastic money, but Japan still has paper money. But I think Europe's euros are in plastic money now, I think. I could be wrong. We have our boiling water. We want 200 mils of this going in. Actually, should probably read what's on the back of the what's actually in this hot chocolate, because I don't know what makes it like solidifiable. You know, because like I understand it's like a hot chocolate mix, so I was like, how do you become like a pudding consistency? Yeah, I know, right? That's like the best thing about plastic money. And it stays so much cleaner as well because you're not all like scrunched up and stuff. Um, what is actually in you? Oh, you're in Japanese. Okay, let's do my instant translation. Cacao mass, sugar, full fat milk powder, cacao butter, emulsifier. What makes that? What makes it solid then? So then that needs to go in the microwave for a bit. I'm about to find out. That's all mixed up, I think. It's gonna be microwave for a second. Basically, I've just made a hot chocolate mix. So I don't know where where the where the solidifying comes in. It's creme de chocolat. Mix, place in ramekins, chill for 2 hours. We'll see. Yum. Mm. That is like the most luxurious chocolate. Half an hour left on the beef. I should probably find out what we're doing with the rest of it once we're cooked. Okay. So what we're going to do, sorry, I'm off screen because my computer's over here. Where once we are cooked, we are going to in the last 5 minutes of cooking time, prepare your mushrooms. Heat the butter, cook the mushrooms, add the remaining 2 cloves of garlic. Oops, pick out another one for that. Cook with butter, season with salt and pepper, and then what? And then we go back. Then you have to strain everything and re-simmer everything Hello, husband. Oh yeah. Why are you not appearing? Because it takes a second. It's called delay, my love. Ooh, it is thickened. Ah. So we have now that's hot. A very hot chocolate situation. Did you have a good birthday? Oh, you gotta go. You're off. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a good birthday. The lolly cake was great.
Yeah. I was telling them about the Sonic plate as well. You're off. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good. I've also realized I forgot to add flour into this. I don't have any thickening agent in here. So what I will do is when I cook the mushrooms, I'm going to toss them in flour and cook off the flour. So it's going to be a roux around the mushrooms. And so when I add that back in, that should thicken up nicely. How are your new shoes? They survived? What have you got? What is this?
Student loans.
Mm.
Do I need to let them know? Maybe it's because I didn't let them know.
We can sort this out when you get back. We'll figure it out. I'm just trying to cool this down a bit before I put this in the fridge because this straight into the fridge would be a bad idea. This tastes incredible, by the way. Yeah, right. That's going to just cool down a little. And then I'm just going to do a quick chop up of the mushrooms. I'm just going to quarter these guys, I think. Contemplated halves, but that's probably a bit too big. And I want some surface area for the garlicky buttery situation. So let's just quickly do that. It's so strange to do button mushrooms because I don't usually buy chestnut mushrooms in Japan because they're the more expensive mushroom to buy. I always buy the Asian mushrooms. So it feels very weird. I don't think I've bought a button mushroom in like at least half a year because I usually buy the other mushrooms. Right. So I've got a little mushroom accoutrement. I'm just gonna shred, just gonna declump the other mushroom. Where's the other side? Okay. So we've got little mushroom variety up in here. Nice. Little mushroom mix there. How are we doing over here? Simmering away. And then we'll give that a taste. We'll give the beef a prod to see if we're at the right tenderness levels. And then we shall go from there. I thought this was going to take me a little bit more time, but apparently not. So I'm going to so yeah. I'll quickly cool this down. Are we holdably? No, not quite. Why am I being desperately trying to cool this down so I can put this. That's hot. Right. I'm hoping this would fit in here. Oh, perfect. Just I have like a quick freeze drawer in my fridge, which is fabulous because like you can put hot things into it as long as you don't have anything else in there, which is quite nice. So I've just popped my chocolate mix in there. I'm gonna surround it with little ice packs because I've got them. And then, yeah, I'll let that hang out for a sec. That's still going. That's still going. I literally, I'm just pulling things out of my ass to do because I've been too efficient. This never happens. What am I meant to do with my life? Like, this has never happened in the history of this stream where I run out of things to do because usually I'm just like, quick, go faster. Because I've still got 21 minutes to kill. Before I can even like begin to get that bit done. So what are we going to do? I'm literally out of things to do. This never happens. Well, you're gonna have to chat with me then. Cooking speed run. I know. Well, I've kind of messed up my timings because I'm just waiting for this to go really. How long's the pot going for? It's been going for 40 minutes and it is going to go for another, take down that 19 minutes. And that will be an hour in the pot. The recipe says 1.5 to 2 hours, so now that I've checked it. So we'll check and give it a prod and see if it's tender enough for my liking. And if it is, then I'll just stop it there and do the mushrooms. And if it's not there, then that might be the end of the stream because I'm not going to hang it out for another extra half hour just to watch the pot cook. So we'll see how that goes. I'll do the mushrooms in the meantime. So let me get my frying pan out. We might move the pot over to the other one. Actually, I'll use the other one because the timer's on this right side. I can change the timer, I suppose. Bear with. I've got stuff all over my counter as per. Oh, hello. You're not meant to be in there. So we're basically making a garlic mushroom stir fry situation. Saute, that's the word. Just gonna scoot this guy over here. We're gonna turn the timer onto the left one for I think it was 18 minutes left. So we're just gonna continue doing that. Now we have this side free for our garlic mushrooms. Some butter. Isn't this the most like adorable little bird plate? What I do need to do, however, is it does have two spots, yeah. It's quite difficult to have both sides showing. So I often don't show both sides. We need to, okay. I need like a moderately sized garlic here because I don't really want a big one. Is that even possible with this clove of garlic? Am I asking too much when I say I don't want a massive clove? I have a feeling that both of these are going to be equally massive. I'm going to go for this side. I feel like this side is like a little bit smaller. This is the size of garlic recipes are calling for. Because usually I'm always like doubling the garlic, but like when you have garlic like this, you're like, this is the right size of garlic, you know. So just gonna go through and mince this garlic. Garlic is love. Garlic is life. I hope you will all agree. No vampires in this channel, clearly. Where did that come from? Who decided that vampires couldn't do garlic? Did someone test it? You know, like, how do we know the vampires can't do garlic? Did someone make that up? Is this like a Hollywood thing? You tried. What did you try? You tried garlic. Oh, I see. I see where we are. It's all just Hollywood then. It's all for show. Vampires welcome then in that case. Right. Enough chopping. That will do. Right. Get our butter. I feel like that's not really enough butter for this. Let me do a bit more. Got a hefty amount of mushroom. You've got to go in with a hefty amount of garlic. I mean butter, you mean? There's definitely a hefty amount of garlic in here. Need a bit more butter. So we are sauteing off some garlic. No, not garlic. We're sauteing off mushrooms in garlic. My words are just not with me today. Gently heating up the garlic with the butter. Also going to add a zhuzh of garlic spice. I'm just going to use a spoon. I lie. I was going to use a spoon, but the spoon doesn't fit. Back with the spoon will, though. Hastily, I'm just going to harvest some of the extra non-salt spices that just never get used because they don't fit through the holes. So I'm just going to add those guys into the mix just so they actually get used. Or also just be forever stuck in the bottom of the salt pot, and I find that sad. So I don't know what's actually in here. I think it's like chili, cumin, some mustard seed maybe. Yeah. That's definitely had a little go around. Right, how are we doing? Are we heated up? Are we coming up to temperature? Are we getting to know each other? Just need to await a gentle sizzle before we get our mushrooms in. Making a little pile in there. So once that starts bubbling and sizzling, we will get our mushrooms in. I'm just going to turn that up. It's going too slow. We don't want to burn our garlic, so just want to gently bring it up to heat. Nothing worse than all that effort and then burn garlic. So gentle does it. Little gentle bubblings going on. Probably could have gone a bit more vigorous. Hey ho. I'm out here killing time, so I'm going slow. Nice. bubble starting to smell like the best thing on earth. That is garlic butter. Whoever came up with this is amazing. Right. Quick turning up of the heat because the mushrooms are going to cool down the pan. Fabulous. Once we get a good coat on the mushroom, I'm just going to then put some flour in here to cook off with the mushroom in order to then when the mushrooms get added to the beef, it will form a little roux for the thing. Oh, I thought I separated all of my mushrooms. Apparently not. When I have garlic mushrooms like this, I'm so tempted to add a bit of chili. But beef bourguignon is not a spice requiring dish, so I shall show restraint. Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for watching. No problem at all. Mixing it all together, yes, I will do. This particular recipe called for the mushroom to be cooked separately and not in here with the rest of the stew, so I'm trying it out. Because usually I would just shove it in the pot with all the other vegetables and cook it together. But apparently it makes a difference, so I'm about to find out if it does. I'm going to now add a few tablespoons of flour to the mushroom so that when it gets put into the beef, it will thicken the beef. I was meant to put the flour around the beef so that the stew thickens, but I forgot to do that. So it's going into the mushroom. 3 teaspoons to a tablespoon. So we're gonna do that. Toast this off. We don't want raw flour. So just gonna toss this about. Basically, cook instead of adding the flour like directly into the stew, if you cook it around something that has a bit of oil, it just cooks out the raw flavor a bit. So it doesn't feel like you get a mouthful of raw flour chunks. Toss that around together. Exactly. Basically, I was meant to do the flour when I did the meat, but I forgot. So I'm just doing it around the mushrooms. And hopefully that will do us just fine. Let that hang out. How's our little chocky situation going? So our chocolate has definitely cooled down. It's still quite liquidy. Apparently it's meant to like fully solidify, which I am dubious of. But, you know, one will trust the process. Yeah, but that's still very liquidy. Like, it's still warm. So I'll put that back in the freezer. See how that goes. Let me just go back to the recipe, make sure I'm doing everything somewhat in the right order. You want me to separate the juice from the beef? Why? Oh, that's only if you're doing it in the oven. Yeah, okay, we're fine. We don't need to take it out. That's fine. Got 3 minutes left on our beefy situation. So once that's out, we can add the mushrooms in. And give that keeping the mushrooms moving so we don't have thickage on the pot. Right. Delicious. Let that finish off. Put this down here. This down here. Chocolate away. This thing is like mind-blowing. Ooh. We've got a cooled down chocolate. Don't know whether I should like chill it more before I put it in the cups because I don't want to like make it all soggy and then have it disintegrate. So I might, oh, wow. I am such a mess. I promise I don't do these things on purpose. On that note, let's go put this back in the fridge. Right, let's pop you over here. Put this on this side. We are finished with our little cloche hat. Or paper hat. Let's give this a little taste, see where we're at. Did you hear me, Miles? I'm tasting. Right. Fab. Let me pull out the bay leaf before I forget. stewified. In with our mushrooms. Right. In goes our mushroom and heat back on. Let that get to know each other. How is our beef? I was meant to stab the beef. I fully forgot to do that. Whoops. Before I add the mushrooms in. Thank you. Hello. I was not expecting you to actually appear. Wow. That beef is good. He has been summoned. Master Chef himself. We are looking pretty good. I feel like the broth could definitely be thicker to my liking, but I'm just gonna let it do an extra maybe 10 minutes simmer. And then I think that will do us very nicely. A lot more liquid than I hoped. I was hoping it would come down a bit more, but that's fine. Hopefully the thickening will do a bit of that. How does it taste? It's currently tasting quite mild because I've not adjusted for salt or anything yet. Because at the moment, the only salt in here is the salt from the start, the searing off at the start, and some Marmite. So, but to be fair, it's like if I were to drink it as a soup, that's a really nice, gentle flavor. But since we're having this as a stew, you want to bump up the salt a little bit. So I've got some herbs de Provence salt, which needs to be used. It's about like half a teaspoon. Start. Same again. Oh, we'll do for now. And then once it's reduced a bit further, I will give it another taste. Hopefully it thickens a bit more as well as this goes. Yeah. Rice today. Oh, to be fair, I could do some rice. But no, I think I've got one more batch of rice left. So I will finish that from the freezer first, and then I will cook rice the next time I cook because I need to have all of my containers free when I do a batch of rice, or else I have leftover rice that doesn't have a home. So I will not cook rice today. But this is going to be served with mashed potato probably, because I've got that left from last week, which I had frozen. So that's already sorted for us. We have a bit more vigor in our pot, please. Nice. Ooh. So another couple of minutes on that. I'm actually going to do a little Japanese trick, little tiny zhuzh of soy sauce. Just really brings things together. Let that simmer. Still checking on my little chocolate situation. Oh yeah, it's definitely thickening up. Let me try not spill it this time. What do you taste like now? I'm running out of spoons. Oh, my spoons having been washed is what? It is thickening for sure, but I don't trust this to actually like thicken to like a full ganache. I don't think I trust it to do that. I feel like it needed to have been like more cream or something. Mm. We'll see. I already spilt it once. I was watching it this time. I try to not make the same mistake twice. How am I going to do this though? Got my little tarts. These are fine to be eaten as is because they are already cooked. They're not like they're not par baked or anything. But what I need to figure out is if I can do, like, if I can pour this mixture into this without it seeping everywhere. And, safe. Ideally, I want something that fits all of them in one layer. So let's see if this guy will do it for me. Basically, if I can like fit it on the lid, probably do it, you know. I can then go upside down, Tupperware trick. Let's give that a go. So we are going to do a little row of these guys. That's probably not going to close, is it? Maybe I'll just do this like as a tray. Is this going to work? Do I trust this to work? Maybe I'll keep this in the freezer until like the very last. Then give this a little stir. Oop. It's thickening up, to be fair. I just need it to go a little bit more, I think. Flavor's good though. Right. It's gonna go for a couple more minutes, and then that's done. Oh, actually, you know, I'm gonna add a bit of dry parsley to this. I know it's not really the same, but I feel like it just needs a little bit of like greenness Needs a more like green essence, you know. This would be so nice to dip like a nice garlic bread into. I might need to procure some garlic bread. Yum. Bourguignon. Right. That's good. That's good. Then I'm just gonna pour out my little chocolatey situations. I have a feeling I'm gonna have way too much in the jar, so I'm gonna. Where are all the lids to these? All my lids are missing. Making sure they're not. Okay, they're both not too gulky. So little ramekins for extra chocolate good. Here are the lids. 2 lids. And a bit of couscous. That's actually a great idea, actually. I've never thought of that. And that is actually, I might actually do that right now. That is a good shout. And they kind of disintegrate, don't they? Because couscous is just a tiny, tiny pasta. You know what? I'm going to do that right now. Have my little couscous baggie. Might do like a. That's actually a great thing. Like that's a trick I'll be using in the future. I'm gonna just do one spoon. It's actually fabulous. Great little trick. And you wouldn't even notice them as well, because if they've kind of just hung out for ages, they kind of disintegrate, don't they? Let's do this chocolate situation. Yeah, I've just added like a big tablespoon. What spoon is one of these? It's the spoon that comes with all of my protein, and it's like they keep giving me spoons, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. It's 2 tablespoons. It's a 30 ml spoon. So I'm putting so much faith into these little chocolate cups. I'm just gonna fill these up. Ooh, to the top. Little bonus dessert. Hope they don't go soggy. The concentration is real. Ooh. To be fair, they fit a fair amount. I can't look up right now, so just give me. Ooh. Looks good. Hopefully it says, yeah, I hope so too. And we have a nice little amount left for just little pots. I'll make 2 for the funsies, because these are quite rich chocolate situations. I think these used to be like little matcha pudding cups from somewhere that my mum got. Actually, this is going to fill them up quite nicely. just past the logo. Beautiful. Wow. It's as if I measured it. It's meant to be. Yum. Right. Well, one can hope. I'm going to go freezer for these, just so they go a bit faster. And also it's easier, I think, for me to get into the freezer because it's a drawer than it is. Oh, the concentration. Let's go. Nice. I hope so too. It's meant to set, so we're about to find out. If not, we're just going to have like chocolate milk in tart case desserts, which don't sound the most appetizing. So I'm going to freezer them to start, just to kind of give them a blast chill. And then set a timer for that, so I don't leave them in there until they fully freeze over. Timer. Let's go. Give them like a 15-minute blast chill. Let's make it 20. And then let's have a. I think Couscous has done a great job at getting this to like a nice kind of stewable consistency. Let's give it a little taste. Pick an onion out. Yum. That is pretty solid. Right. That's just going to hang out until husband gets back, basically. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining and all the chaos. Beef bourguignon is done. We've done a little bonus chocolate pud situation. Hopefully that sets up. And I'm just going to basically wait for husband to get back. He'll probably be back in maybe 45 minutes. So I'm just going to go hang out now. Thank you so much for joining. And and thank you for all of our new peeps that joined today. Don't know if you're still there, but chuck us a follow if you like what I do. Next month is stream week for the 1 year Twitchversary. I will be folding a dumpling per follower. So chuck us a follow for more dumplings by me. And good night, everyone.